So before I tell you this story, I need to make sure that everyone knows what's going on with me and my family. Very soon, I'm going to be moving to Colfax, but it's before the school year ends. I'm nervous, but at the same time, I need it because I'm struggling mentally and spiritually. Let's get to the story before I keep on telling you the backstory. I'm still 13, and I'm in my first semester. Might have been my second. Whatever. My mom comes down from Eureka to watch me while my dad is gone for a few days. The day before, my dad told me that he was driving with a friend of his named Guy to what I think was Washington, right? Anyway, my mom comes over to watch me, we're having a great time, roasting each other, eating McDonald's, etc. And then, things went left real quick. My mom finds something that's white in a bag and about halfway full. Coke. My mom freaked out, and probably because she was really drunk, she showed me that Coke. She even freaked out on me when I told her what my dad was saying about my mom. My mom calls Guy and asked what my dad and him were doing. Guy said that he hadn't seen my dad all week. That's where we knew. My dad had just cheated on my mom with another woman. My mom calls my aunt later that night to pick us up. I pack up some stuff, she does as well, and we even poured out the Coke into a dish that's under the bridge of our driveway. I remember, before we left, my aunt had gotten me chicken nuggets from McDonald's, which was good and all, but the only problem was that there was no barbecue sauce. I did eat it, but I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was gonna die. You know how I'm not dead? I'm here to tell you the story. It's not like I'm a demon, alien, or a ghost. Anyway, that ride to my aunt's house was one of the worst rides of my life. Not only because I had just seen Coke for the first time with my own two eyes, but my mom was crying loud the whole time, crying about how my dad cheated on her and just being annoying. Sorry, I feel like that's usual for when people get drunk. Depending on how some of your friends and family act or drunk. We finally get to my aunt's house in Calusa, which honestly feels like a million centuries, aka the whole entire world's existence. We set out to the home, and then my grandma calls my mom. They talk for a bit, then she asks my mom to talk to me. I talk to my grandma, and the whole time, I'm still in disbelief about what happened earlier that day. After that call, I test the URL on Hangouts on my computer explaining the whole situation. I'm not kidding you, for the next few days I was there, I was so depressed. I watched Looney Tunes all day on my school computer, and yet I didn't feel any better. I also remember talking to Ryan about the whole thing, and I was telling him that I was going to leave the school because of it. A few days later, I realized that I could still live with Gridley, so I decided to still live with my dad despite what had just happened a few days earlier. About 7 months or 8 months passed by, and me and my dad are on my way to Eureka to help my mom with her car. My dad explains to me that my dad broke up with her girlfriend because my dad was going to help my mom. And then it took me back to when a few nights back, the doors are slamming in their bedroom. How unsurprising, huh? Later I learned that it was much more than that. I ain't gonna get to that, because I didn't even know the whole reason why. Then about a week or two later, we're in Fort Bragg. Me and my parents, for the first time in a long time. It was fun. We played catch, we went fishing in the ocean, had some amazing food, and more. There are only two problems. One, my mom got too drunk one night, which led to an argument, like I was used to with this confusing family. And for two, my dad was depressed multiple times during the trip, smoked in front of me, and when he was usually like depressed or emotional, it was usually on the beach, so he'll like, when we were about to leave, my dad would like walk to the car like a minute or two before we do. Which, if you consider why that's so important, is because we were much better than this in the mid-2010s. I know that Grin knows that. By the way, this is around the time that the house had just gotten sold, which was a big surprise to all of us, considering that it sold in less than 24 hours. Not in like a month or two? Please? Anyway, about another week or two later, me and my parents are at my house, which had just got sold, like I mentioned earlier, and my mom's going to be there for a few nights. While all of us are there, I hear yelling, running, and, "Did you just spill that on me?" My mom goes upstairs to my messy room, and she tries to sleep. When my dad comes up and starts yelling at my mom about this and that and this and that, he came up multiple times, even when I texted him saying to stop and that they could just talk about it in the morning. I ended up staying up till about 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. before I fell asleep because of him. Now let's talk about as much of my future as I know right now. So I have three options. One, I can live with my mom, which is getting less likely by the day, just because I'm not so sure she could raise me as good as my dad can with some teaching and advice from them too. Two, my dad, which really isn't even an option right now because I'm 99.9% sure I can't live with him while he's trying to find a nice place to move to. Or three, my grandparents' house, which, honestly, I need to. For one, as I mentioned at the beginning of the story, I'm struggling mentally and spiritually. And two, I need to get away from real life, sit back, calm down, and be a new, better self that I was in the mid-2010s. After that, it's down to two options, my mom or my dad. Honestly, I'm still not sure, which is the third reason why I'm moving to my grandparents' house. Sorry. After the 20th of May, aka on the last day of May that we go to school, I'm moving to my grandparents' house to recover. A lot more stuff has happened that's been like this, but this one is the most impactful experience so far in my life. So if you were wondering why I kept saying, "I'm sorry, I'm stressed out," that's why. If you're wondering why I kept working at the library on Mondays, that's why. And to Rihanna, who didn't really think I shouldn't have been nervous for PE that Thursday when we played flag football, that's why. I want to thank my counselor for helping me to ease a bit. I want to thank Glenn for helping me a lot at the beginning of the school year. I want to thank Uriah for giving me the hunger to prove to him that I'm better than him at football or not. Which in my eyes, that I will never be able to tell the day I die. I want to thank my teachers for giving me numerous chances even though I don't deserve my opinion. I want to thank my family for always being there for me and my friends as well. Oh yeah, and I want to say thank you to Derek, Isaac, and Anthony for being the reason why you make me motivated to prove everybody wrong. Alright, I hope that y'all will continue to dominate this record world of ours. I hope that y'all will continue to help people in need of help. I'm out.